Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
Jem, my boss got mad at me for calling a coworker a chicken. He said he doesn't tolerate foul language.
Stupid. That's pretty good.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every single week we choose a popular saying to take an admittedly shallow, hopefully comedic, once in a while interesting, if we're lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins, but mostly we're going to use it to hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I'm an idiom sandwich.
An idiom sandwich?
I'm an idiom sandwich chef. Have you ever watched when Gordon Ramsay, he puts the bread on the side of a person's head?
Oh, no.
It's like, what are you? It's like you're an idiot sandwich. And he puts bread on each side of their head.
I don't know if I've ever watched him.
I'm an idiot sandwich chef.
He makes them say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's the lamb sauce?
Well, he's the type of guy.
So I'm an idiom sandwich.
He's a great example.
Not an idiot sandwich. I'm an idiom sandwich.
Yeah, I got it.
I said it. I don't know if I was slurring or...
No.
It was just
crystal clear.
It's just that time of night, baby.
Yeah, we're recording a little later in the night. But he's a great example for what we're going to talk about today because, here's a little High School Musical something to tell us what we're talking about today.
Have zero tolerance for cell phones in class.
Right? Gordon Ramsay, of anybody, he's kind of a zero tolerance kind of guy, don't you think?
You need to grow up.
He's like,
He says all the...
you cannot make a single error in that guy's presence.
You donut! Look how he calls people a donut. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen enough of him to know what
It's hilarious.
his style really
calling
is.
an adult a donut. It's just so insulting. But no... But is it like saying zero tolerance kind of the same as saying intolerant?
Right. So in
I have zero tolerance for that. I am intolerant of that.
So in a culture right now where we are
A tolerant culture.
instructed to be as tolerant as possible
But it's actually we're highly intolerant of people who don't think the way we do.
of idiom sandwich people.
You idiom sandwich. You are such a donut.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, but zero tolerance as an idiom or not, because it can be either. This is what I've got noted down here. Zero tolerance is used to describe a policy, practice, or law that provides severe penalties for certain behavior or offense with no exceptions made for even extenuating circumstances. And so if you're that type of chef or that type of boss or that type of neighbor, which some of us have had, just like we're living side by side. I'm going to make noise. You're going to make noise.
Right.
If you're intolerant, if you have zero tolerance for my kids running around in the backyard.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
I just do not like that. I was just down, came off of a little spring break here in Canada, and so for our international friends.
So not spring break in other countries?
I don't know. What if it's winter in like Australia? It's got to be winter somewhere.
Yeah.
In which case they're going, you have spring break right now?
Right. They're on
Weird.
their winter break.
But here in Canada, it was spring break. Anyway.
Fair enough.
As we were down
to our Australian listeners, first of all, good day.
Mate.
Secondly, happy fall break or winter break.
Well, let me just throw this shrimp on the Barbie. I was down in Portland.
Wait. It'd be spring, summer, fall. It'd be fall break.
Is it fall break there?
Yeah. They're starting school.
Are they?
I don't know. I mean, if they're opposite
cares?
us, it's not a winter break. They're fall. We just came out of winter into spring.
Where's the opposite side of the world from here?
China?
Is it?
Well, that's just what they say. If you dig a hole deep enough, you're going to come out in China.
I remember that. Saying that makes no sense. You see, there's a core in the center of the earth. You're not going to deal.
After you go through the center of the earth.
It's not like there's nougat in the middle.
No, there's dinosaurs in the center of the earth.
Oh,
Have you not
that's
seen
right.
those movies?
I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
First, there's a magma layer.
The documentaries, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
That's exactly where they find
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Sorry.
So anyways, for spring break.
Oh, yeah, spring break.
And,
what were we talking about?
I was zero tolerance. And so I was down in Portland, Oregon, where there's all sorts of tolerance. There's loads of tolerance. There's a guy who's obviously struggling with some issues, yelling down the street. We're going to Voodoo Donuts.
Oh, yeah, I've never been.
Classic Portland, must-go location, the amazing donuts. And they are true. They hold up to their name. Beautiful.
Is this your first time to Voodoo Donuts?
Yes.
Yeah, so I haven't been, but
And so I was like, gotta check this out. It's gonna be great. And so I was telling my son as we were going down, like this is gonna be a dystopic wasteland, just because of what I've just from the news. I'm thinking Portland. It was beautiful, but it was not without quirks. So
Stay weird,
Portland. And so for whatever reason, there's a high tolerance for under bridges and along roadways. You can just set up homeless camps, which is like not uncommon, but in this volume, there's like, it was homeless camp city. High tolerance. There's a gentleman just yelling obscenities, just walking down the street, and that was when people just went about their business while some guy was yelling.
So,
and then the pièce de résistance.
Okay, I'm listening.
of tolerance was this lady who decided to drop her drawers and just do a drop a dookie in the street.
You were witness to this?
Yeah. So, well, we looked away at the pant dropping part. Even I felt modesty for her that she did not feel for herself. And like an older lady, and not like I just, this is a passing moment, like pointed her buttocks at the traffic and dropped trow. And
didn't go around a corner.
There was nope. It was.
Is there a corner to go around if she chose to?
There's plenty of corners. There's plenty of ways to attempt to. It's not like you want to take your jacket off and like screen behind her, because I'm like, I just don't need like hepatitis today.
So let's
chivalry died at the thought of like,
let's take your
fountainous diarrhea.
Let's take your Portland Adventure.
Okay,
Portland Adventure. That's one word.
Very tolerant.
Portland Adventure. If our subject matter today is zero tolerance, so I don't want to hear just very tolerant. Like, what does this number go up to? Is there zero tolerance 1, 2, 3, 4 on a scale of 100? So 100 being completely tolerant of everything, which I would imagine is what, anarchy? Like literally, by definition,
just tolerant of it. I don't know if anarchy, if that even is the same scale. Is anarchy and complete tolerance?
I don't mean anarchy in the negative sense even.
Oh, the positive anarchy.
Yeah, like meaning governmentless.
I see. I don't know. There was no one attempting to stop her, and I wasn't about to start.
So it was 100 tolerance.
I don't know.
Zero.
My presence being there was intolerant because I was the.
Was it 2? Number 2 tolerant.
It was. I was intolerant. I was intolerant.
They were tolerant of number 2.
It was just very unusual. Yes. So tolerant in that apparently this is a thing. And intolerant in that I was aware of it. I guess a totally tolerant person wouldn't have even noticed someone dropping an O. Henry on the street.
Whatchamacallit.
What do you call it? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So anyways.
Now my brain is just rifling through
Mr.
chocolate bar
Big.
names.
Oh, there it is. The Big Turk.
I mean, I guess it depends on the
The
day.
Hershey Kiss.
Yeah, Cadbury mini eggs.
She was plugged up. She was dropping Cadbury mini eggs.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyways. Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was between a Mars bar or a Snickers if it had nuts or not. I'm thinking
Very
it.
nice.
I'm thinking it didn't have nuts. Yeah, so it was just a Mars bar. That's what I'm telling myself.
Is there such a thing as a chocolate bar with corn?
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's enough potty talk.
All right. So zero tolerance for the rest of that conversation.
It's very unusual.
The tolerance level that varies from city to city with regards to homeless is it's a sensitive subject, because talk about a challenge to deal with. Like literally, I'm not even making jokes here. Like these are real people with real lives.
Yet she's a human being. Like I feel that empathy, but at some level, I feel like even if I was like in complete desperation, would I try to hide my bum a bit? Like, like just a bit. I would want to, because I wouldn't want to impose that upon anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And anyways.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Different note. I did come across this little gem. My boss got mad at me for calling a coworker a chicken. He said he doesn't tolerate foul language.
Stupid. That's pretty good, though.
There you go. Just to change the diarrhea talk. Well, how was your spring break?
My spring break.
Did you get up to some tolerance?
Well, my spring break, I had to kind of keep on plugging with work and whatnot because just the way it was this time around. But was able to take a couple days. Went up to not too far from here, Britannia Mines. Went on like a field trip with my daughter. Put on the hard hats and went touring the copper mines.
Cool.
Up in Britannia Beach, and spent a night in Squamish with some water sliding in the hotel pool, and
That sounds like a great time.
so it was good couple days. Otherwise, been planning for a wedding. This in a couple of days here.
What's
my
happening?
second son is getting married.
That's exciting.
And so it's been wedding planning and work and schmirk.
Shout out to the Beetle Bat.
Shout out. That's right. Beetlebat has been a guest on the program.
By the time this comes out, he will not be married.
By the time this comes, no, that's right.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
So we still have a couple days before. I was like, that just
so
messed with-
pre congratulations,
yeah,
Beetle Bat.
yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah. So
Well, it's a precarious. There's talk about tolerant events. This is one event that there is a thin threshold for error.
on wedding planning.
Yeah, you want it to be kind of go off without a hitch.
So this
and
is
with a hitch, and to get hitched.
and to get hitched.
Whoa.
This has been they planned. I don't know how many months ago, the venues and whatnot. Both the ceremony and the reception are meant to be outdoors. And
that's
today,
tricky.
if you were outside, what a gorgeous, beautiful day. Man, anybody would have loved to have gotten married today.
I think this was the last one.
3 days from today, when he does get married, we keep looking at it, and it just went from, oh, it's going to be drizzling. Oh, it's going to be pouring. Oh, now it's calling for thunderstorms with lightning.
I've never seen a monsoon in British Columbia
Wow,
before.
if tornado warning
Right.
popped up, it wouldn't have surprised me. So, yeah, we went through
That's
plan
tight.
A, B, and C, quickly making arrangements. Their wedding is at this. Well, actually, you've been there before, Heron's Bridge, where his older brother got married.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the ceremony was, or is, and the reception was meant to be rooftop in a local cool building, and so the rooftop is canceled. The ceremony, as of this morning, is full steam ahead, rain or shine. We ordered 100 ponchos to hand out, and we're just doing it.
Nice.
So yeah, it'll be great. It'll be stories,
Yeah, who cares?
or it'll be not rainy.
yeah,
You never know.
Whatever.
This is the place we live. Anyway, zero tolerance with regards to that is like the weather doesn't care what we're planning.
It's intolerant.
It is so intolerant. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it could be pretty merciless here this time of year. You're rolling the dice, but
Yeah,
well, whatever.
You never know.
You're
Like,
equally married whether it was raining.
I
or not.
relate everything to my Jeep. And April, I sometimes have the top off already. And sometimes it's pouring rain all the way through April
Sometimes
showers.
the top is off. Sometimes I don't.
You're still singing Chocolate Bar.
Almond Joyce in Portland.
And so was Mounds. Yeah, so
That'll be good.
Would you like some choices of where the idiom zero tolerance came from?
I would like that a lot.
You look down at your notes like, no, I got something else for you instead, Mark.
No, I was well, before we got to that. My last say on tolerance is you just get annoyed by people who claim intolerance, like I'm gluten intolerant or I'm lactose intolerant, when it actually just is I don't like that.
Oh,
As
right.
opposed to like, oh yeah, that'll give me severe diarrhea.
So you'll appreciate
I will
this.
be in Portland on the street.
I don't know where she picked it up.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you just hear it enough on TV shows and whatever. But I could tell my daughter, pack your bag, it's time to go. I'm intolerant of that.
Really?
Whatever the thing is. Go brush your teeth. I'm toothbrush intolerant.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Oh, like,
From her, it would be funny.
yeah, exactly. So she says it in the funniest ways. My 15-year-old
Yeah.
high schooler daughter with
Yeah.
Down syndrome.
I'm toothbrush intolerant. Brush your teeth. I'm toothbrush intolerant.
Yeah,
That's great.
She doesn't even know how funny she's being. She thinks she's telling me.
I
can't-
love it.
I can't do that.
Yeah, that would be
So let me
great.
give you three choices
Okay.
of where zero tolerance could have come from. Number one, did it come from the U.S. crackdown on crime in the 1970s?
I'm going to go earlier. Whatever your
Is it from the Food and Drug Administration regarding pesticides in the 60s? You wanted earlier.
I did one earlier. No, I think it has to do with building things.
Is it an engineering tool from the 50s?
I like that. Because when I think of something having a tolerance, I think of like engine parts, and like this has a 0.001 micron tolerance.
Interesting.
And so I'm going to go 50s. I would go 30s.
So
you got one for me?
No, that's it. 70s, 6. So
50s is where I settle.
All right. Should we find out?
Let's see what happens.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
Said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origin.
We look good today. I don't know if we've got the lighting just right, but
I don't look pasty. I was just in the sun. I was in California.
Oh.
And so I don't look like the Walking Dead ghost that I normally do.
All we heard about is how far you got to Portland, but there was a lot more to your trip.
Oh, yeah. That'll just eke out over time.
All right. Well, let's get into the dirty and the nerdy according to Online Etymology Dictionary, which, unfortunately, this is episode 221, is the first time I've come across it.
It's online, so it's probably it's probably like later than the 50s.
Well, good point. No, but this is, there's online history as well. It doesn't mean...
No, history's not online. Continue.
First recorded use of the term zero tolerance was in 1972 and was originally used in U.S. politics as a way to describe how laws prohibiting minor crimes could in turn help prevent larger instances of disorder from occurring. So this became, as I read through these articles, way more interesting than I actually thought it would be.
I thought for sure it would have to do with building things.
So the idea behind zero tolerance policies can be traced back to the Safe and Clean Neighborhoods Act, which was approved in New Jersey in 1973 and had the same underlying ideas that the New Jersey policy would later popularize in 82. Because when I first read this, I'm like, I've heard of this before in this specific usage. And then when it said 1982, and the fact that it was publicized a whole bunch, I'm like, that's where it comes. But it comes from, the name for the idea comes from the following example. Consider a building with a few broken windows.
Yes.
If the windows are not repaired, the tendency is for vandals to break a few more windows.
Yes.
Eventually, they may even break into the building, and if it's unoccupied, perhaps then squatters or light fires inside. Or consider a sidewalk. Some litter accumulates. Soon more litter. Eventually, people just start leaving bags of trash. So the idea of zero tolerance, like don't leave that one window cracked. It's actually very similar to the Main Street Disneyland, the Main Street, what do they call it? Main Street
Creed
motto, something like that. Where if there's a scuff on a light post, it's painted that day. Because if you leave it, then you're gonna let the next one slide. So it's zero tolerance to minor crimes, because minor crimes lead to larger crimes. So interesting enough, though, according to scholars, the zero tolerance is more of a concept of giving carte blanche to the police, being inflexible of minor offenses, which usually is directed at homeless people. And so
we didn't even talk about this.
I know, and the disorders that are associated with them. And so there's a lot of criticism about the zero tolerance approach when it comes to minor crimes, because you're focusing on street people, you're focusing on homeless people, and these street crimes, which are typically, not always, lower social classes, and typically, not always, is non-white crimes. And so there's a lot of criticism about the policies that are zero tolerance when it comes to minor crimes, which is a slippery slope. Because then if you're like, well, what if we don't then? If we let it all slide, then there is truth to that broken window example for sure.
There is.
So
you can see it in your own home, like not your home, but like in a person's home, that you leave that little bit of laundry or whatever, and then the next thing you know, it's like, why is this
100%
covered in crap?
Yeah.
It's like, I should have put away that one cup.
So you didn't like it coming from the 70s, so maybe this will appease you a little bit. Most likely the words that they chose came from an earlier use of the term in the mid-1960s in reference to... an absolute ban of the pesticide heptachlor in the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. So there was an article, June 1963, in Popular Mechanics that stated, heptachlor, though, is even more toxic and has been given a zero tolerance by the FDA, that is not even the slightest trace of heptachlor is permitted on food. So,
Listen here, He-Man.
or maybe you'll be happy with this.
That's what makes me sound like
heptachlor?
Heptachlor is like one of his Beast Man. Heptachlor, Skeletor. It's in there. He's got 7 heads.
So
It's heptachlor.
Heptachlor, the evil villain, the lair, the heptachlor lair. So 70s is what's given all the credit for the origin of the stories, but they think the term is probably came from this U.S. Food and Drug Administrative thing regarding heptachlor. But they do also say the term was most likely, there's no in print proof of it, but most likely used in engineering circles in the 50s.
That's exciting.
Because in 1943...
I thought for sure I was dumb.
No, in 1943, the Ogden Standard Examiner reported a precision machine tool called a Zero.Tol.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so the device made it possible to set 4 tools at once. And after tools are set up, they return to their exact positions without any special attention.
You know what?
from
7
the
tools?
operator. So you were right,
Heptachlor.
but also all 3 choices were right.
Wow.
Because a 70s reference, 60s reference,
Wow.
50s reference. And you stuck to the 50s, which Zero.Tol. I mean,
I didn't know.
regarding a engineering tool, you hit the nail on the head pretty much.
Yeah, that's just what I think of. Like just the tolerances in.
I thought for sure it was
an
crime
engine.
and punishment related before looking up anything.
It's because of my extensive vocabulary. I think probably that's why I got it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that's
Zero-Tol.
what I think. Zero-Tol.
Zero.Tol. And so yeah, that's like the gist of it all. We got a little bit from
That was
the
like
60s, a little bit in the 70s, a little bit from the
multifaceted.
50s, a little bit from Bob's Burger.
Linda, zero tolerance means zero tolerance.
So that is the dirty and the nerdy of the origins.
I liked it.
At least what we can cram into 30-minute episode.
Well, I feel smarter just for having heard today's podcast.
Oh, that's great.
While I'm here.
I hope you're not the only one.
Well, there's you. It's good. Well, now that we're all smarter, we should probably dive into some riddlings, I think.
Riddling is a game we like to play. It takes a 2-part trivia-based question. Requires a 2-part overlapping answer, overlapping by syllable, word, or words. For example, last week, episode 220, we did the idiom, you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar, and we left you with this one. I don't know if you... Usually you tell me, once we press stop on recording, if you know the answer or not. And I can't actually remember if you got this one or
Try
not.
me again. I can't remember.
Sweet talk will give better results than nastiness if you want a too common kitchen ingredient explosive foam. Sweet talk will give you better results than nastiness if you want a too common kitchen ingredient explosive foam.
Explosive foam. I'm thinking of the devil's toothpaste.
So
If more flies with honey than vinegar. Vinegar devil's toothpaste. Elephant toothpaste.
2 ingredients.
Vinegar and baking soda.
That's it. That's all.
okay.
It was. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar and baking soda.
Is it a foam? Oh, okay. I was in Mark Rober land somewhere.
Yeah, elephant's toothpaste, whatever those ingredients are, is more foamy than
Yeah.
vinegar and baking soda. But that's how you play riddling. That was just an
Fantastic.
example of how to play, and I've got a couple for today.
I also have a couple. Let me get things rolling. I got a fantastic one. The legitimate children out there who enjoy the video games. Mortal Kombat's Mr. Freeze.
Oh no.
Mortal Kombat's Mr. Freeze has a no error policy.
Oh,
Mortal Kombat's Mr. Freeze has a no error policy.
is it Sub-Zero tolerance?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't think. I'm like, when you Mortal Kombat, I'm like,
wins.
I'm not gonna get this.
Fatality.
But yeah,
Finish him.
yeah. As soon as this is why Riddlink is so genius, because I knew it had to end with 0.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I hope you like this one. I think you will.
Does it have anything to do with Mortal Kombat?
No.
Okay.
This snug-fitting, breast-lifting undergarment will not allow any infractions to the rules. Not one. This snug-fitting, breast-lifting undergarment will not allow any infractions to the rules, not one.
I'm fairly learned on this topic, and I'm struggling right now. Zero tolerance. I got nothing for you, and it makes me sad.
Snug-fitting, breast-lifting.
I'm thinking like sports bra is what keeps coming to mind. Sports bra tolerance.
Okay, bra is short for what?
Oh, bra zero? Okay. Sports bra
breast
zero.
lifting.
Sports bra
Push
zero.
up.
It's a push-up bra zero tolerance. Oh man,
It's terrible.
Those are like two of my favorite things.
Nobody calls it a push-up brassiere.
Oh man,
It's a push-up
that's
bra.
exciting.
But yeah, sorry about that.
No, I don't know. I'll just dwell on it. You know how that goes. Okay.
My second one's worse, but we're leaving that for...
Okay, perfect. The no error policy leaves six-legged colonizers in my britches.
What?
The no error policy leaves six-legged colonizers in my britches.
Oh. Zero tolerance in my pants?
Yeah.
That's kind of why my last one is not good. It's the sounding of tolerance.
It's hard to... There's not a good rhyme for ants.
Zero tolerance in my pants. Well, that's good. Then at least you have a hint of how my next one's going to go.
Okay, I'll
But
think of it.
why don't you tell everybody how they can...
Oh, yeah. You
play
can reach
along
out
with
to us, Village Children. We love hearing from you on Instagram at the.village.idiom or email us thevillageidiompodcast@gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks, the YouTubes, or the Twitters at 3 Minutes Gone.
There's been a lot of requests or demands for a physical address for people to snail mail us, so we'll work on that.
Sure.
There hasn't been any requests, actually. But I wonder if people would mail us gifts. We should create an address.
You never know.
Okay, here's the last one.
Sure.
This no exception policy is often found with... I'm going to read it again. This no exception policy is often found within shampooing instructions. This no exception policy is often found within shampooing instructions.
Sounds awesome. And that is 3 Minutes Gone.
Did you get it, or didn't even try? You didn't try.
I've got
You
a
don't
little
care.
something.
You don't pay attention to me.
Don't be like that, baby. You know I love you.
I would know it if you did. You'd show it. Words aren't enough. Actions speak louder than words. You catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. I have zero tolerance. I have zero tolerance in my pants.
It's been a rough evening. But we're glad you took some time to join us. Get back to doing that thing that you do.
That thing that you do.
I'm Skinny.
I'm Jurassic Mark.
And these are the Village Idioms.
That's 3 minutes gone.